And now our watch begins. And to be honest, it will probably end in the next 3 hours because at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will have the Battle of Winterfell. So if you are joining us today, this is your pre-show therapy session where hopefully we can help you out mentally and get you through this or get your mind prepared to see the Battle of Winterfell and most likely have your hearts ripped out from your chest. If they are literally ripped out from your chest, I would not be shocked, to be honest with you. And joining me today to talk about this crucial moment in Game of Thrones history and in arguably one of the most anticipated TV episodes in history is Hallmark Channel Jeremy. And
hello.
And Hallmark Channel Jeremy has recently binge watched a lot of Game of Thrones, and he is caught up. He has finally been able to catch up to Game of Thrones to be able to watch it live with us. So he has finally been able to endure the 6 days of anticipation between episodes.
So yeah.
I would say so. I would say so. You've so Hallmark. You've really been you've been binging, catching up with everything. You've been on some of my hangouts before, talking about I think season 4 or 5, all that. How does it feel to we're at the end of the game. We're at the end of the game essentially. How does it feel to be watching it? Being able to watch it live. Like how do you think? How do you feel about that?
Yeah. Well, last week, or for episode 1, we actually had a a free weekend, I guess, for HBO and stuff, and so I got to watch it on the the nice big 50 whatever inch TV in the TV room of my building, and so that was cool. But yeah, and I've through some connections, I've been able to get onto the HBO through the old interwebs, and yeah, freaking. I mean, I had a couple people tell me, that episode 2 was nothing special or whatever, but at the same time, you had, spoilers for those who don't know yet, but like, Jon tells Dany who he really is. And of course, she's like, no, that can't be real. And, they're
thing is also, I feel like she's just kind of in slight denial. I mean, she had to have known once he rode the dragon, she has to know all Targaryens can ride the dragon. Like, it was just like, and I feel like that was Dany facing. I feel like it was like people were just like, oh no, she's pissed. It was almost like that holy hell confirmation that he's right. He is a Targaryen. I don't want to believe it, but he rode Rhaegal.
Yeah,
but
that and when Dany was talking to Sansa and trying to be buddies or establish a little bit more of the ally relationship or whatever.
Yeah.
And Sansa's like, hey, we were taken over, and then we got our basically got our land back, and said that we'd never bow to anyone again, so it's like she's basically sitting there telling her that after this is over, but So, and Danny didn't want to hear that either. So
Yeah, and I'm looking back at episode 2, and episode 2 got a lot of hate. I mean, I'm not going to say particularly, especially from casual fans. They really are not that invested. They just tune in every week just to see something happen. They expect their minds to be blown every week. Yeah, for them it would have been a disappointment. But for I feel like episode 2, how I'll characterize it, episode 2 was episode 1 part 2.
yeah.
They could combine episodes 1 and 2, and it could be its own thing. It'd be a 3-hour long movie, basically. If they did that,
the little moments, like that, to me are just as good as all the battle scenes and stuff like that.
Exactly.
It's like on. You'll have to tell me what season, but was it 7 or 6? But anyway, when Jamie gave the old lady the poison, to drink, and she asked him, will there be pain? He's like, no, and then
last season.
and then I thought it was last season, but anyway,
Olenna Tyrell.
She asked him all about that, before she took a drink, and then she's like,
and then she said,
and then she gave him the bombshell about.
Tell Cersei it was me. Olenna Tyrell, one of the all-time badasses of Westeros. Awesome. Tell Cersei it was me.
Yeah.
Incredible. Yeah. But the thing is, and like you brought up a great point there. The small moments. I mean, that was honestly, I'm not gonna say that was a small moment. That was a big moment with Olenna Tyrell.
Well, yeah. But just like moments, as in, not action. It's like, it
gives you the story nonetheless.
Yeah.
And like exactly like your point that you said about with the Olenna Tyrell scene. It's the reason this show is so great is that it balances those incredible, magnificent battle sequences that we've seen at Blackwater, Hardhome, Battle of the Bastards, Khaleesi destroying the Lannister army, essentially, and the Tarly forces. We've seen these incredible battles, but we've also been so intrigued when it's just the political side of things happening, where it's these families trying to maneuver for power. And while they're maneuvering for power, and while during these battle sequences, it doesn't matter which, the wildlings are more often than not going to be fighting more than political sequences, but then the Lannisters down in, King's Landing, Casterly Rock, especially when Tywin was alive, they're going to be doing more of the political side of things.
Oh, you just made me.
They're able to get. Well, the thing is, they're able to get you attached, whether it's just fighting or whether it is the political side of things. And I feel like episode 2, it slowed everything down. When you look at those people that sat around that camp, that fire.
Yeah.
Well, you looked at all those who were there. If you would have ever have thought Davos, Tyrion, Jamie, Brienne, Podrick, all of them would have been there together at the end here, I would have been like, you're freaking shitting me. I would never do that. But the best part was every character had at least a moment in episode 2. And the thing is, a lot of these characters, they were introduced to us early. Seasons 1, 2, or 3, we've seen them progress through. They might not have been the focus. Maybe they were with Dany or Jon or Robb Stark or Cersei, and they all ended up here. But we got to know them, and I feel like episode 2 was really the payoff to say, "Hey, you all know, like we all knew." Winterfell was coming. What's going to happen here in less than an hour now? We all know it's coming. But I feel like episode 2 was that moment. And I appreciate that, being a big fan. And even yourself, you've been binging it to catch up, but I'm sure you can appreciate it as well. We get one more episode just to see them, just to interact with them, see them interact with characters that we've never seen them interact before, and just to be themselves. They all know what's coming, and we all know what's coming. But for them to just have one more night and one more glimpse for ourselves to see these characters on screen for probably the last time ever, I greatly appreciate that.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, more of the small stuff, or like the redheaded dude, the wildling dude, right? Dude, he's one of the reasons I like watching the show, just because he's just on this
Tormund
mission or whatever, like he's always, what about the big woman, meaning Brienne, he's like, his crush on Brienne is just freaking comical, but but like, speaking of Brienne, another one of those small moments or whatever is when Jamie knighted her, in that room, where they're sitting, having wine and sitting by the fire, and when the big old smile she had on her face afterwards,
Well, and that's what terrifies me. I love Brienne of Tarth. I love Jaime Lannister. Jaime Lannister has had one of the best character arcs. I went from hating and despising him in season 1 to now I'm like, I really don't want him to die. It's like, and the thing is, I think there's more to it with the Mad King yelling, "Burn them all." I feel like there's something more into it. And the fact that whenever he did not bring it up, because he was on trial in Winterfell in front of Daenerys, Sansa, Jon, and Bran, and he pushed Bran out the window in the first episode of the whole series. And the fact, it's just like seeing the fact that he went from he hated the Starks to now I'm in Winterfell, and whenever Tyrion says, he's like, look at us, Lannisters, we will die defending Winterfell, like joking, and they're just like, how the hell did we end up here? It's almost like they had a bad night out at the bar. They drank way too much. They blacked out, and they woke up at someone's house. They didn't realize where they're at, and they're just like, "Oh shit! Well, guess we're here now." But obviously their story is much more complex than that. But it's just, oh my gosh! It's why this show and this story is so unique, and an experience like this, and that's why Hallmark Channel, Jeremy, I'm so pumped that you're able to experience this live, where you have to suffer through each week, like 6 days of like, oh, what's gonna happen? You get to experience it because, and the thing is, like my dad, he had watched a couple episodes of Game of Thrones here and there because his coworkers at work had said, hey, check this out, you might like it. He binge watched season 6 and 7. He's caught up with season 8. He hasn't seen 1 through 5. I gave him all my Blu-ray sets, even though he has Amazon Prime and all that. I'm like, just watch the Blu-rays. Just watch it. Just use the Blu-rays. No difference, but I'm just like, use the Blu-rays. Do it how I did it to catch up. And so no, he has my collection, and he is getting caught up. And I mean, he's only watched, like I say, watching it through. He's only watched season 6, 7, and now 8, up to episode 2, 3 here shortly. And he is engrossed. He's like, okay. He's like, I'm so curious. He's like, and the thing is, for himself, like, he hasn't seen half the characters yet. I would say 75% of the characters he's never even met before because they're already dead by this point. So when he meets all them, like he said, he watched the first few episodes. He's like, I am excited to see how does Jon Snow end up where he's at, or how does Dany get all these How does Danny get the dragons? All this stuff, everything like that. He wants to see how they get there. I'm just like, whether you just recently started watching the show or you're going to restart to watch it for the first time, like, oh my gosh, this is storytelling on a level that we've arguably never seen. You know, I will throw George R. R. Martin out there with the greatest writers of all time. And the fact that this is a worldwide event. This is not just something in the U.S. This is worldwide. I mean, it's incredible. And the fact that it comes out the Battle of Winterfell, arguably what we're anticipating, one of the most important episodes in Game of Thrones history, comes out on the same weekend as Avengers Endgame. It's just beyond mind-boggling. I mean, it's just like, whether you've seen Endgame already, folks, or whether you will be seeing it within the coming weeks, and you'll be seeing the Battle of Winterfell tonight or tomorrow or whatever. I mean, tomorrow when I go to work, I mean, I saw Endgame on Friday. I enjoyed it. I thoroughly enjoyed the movie, and as what I said to Hallmark while we were off air, I'm not going to give any spoilers for Endgame, but you have every kind of emotion possible, from excitement to sadness to you name it. You got that emotion where you're just like, let's go. You're on the end of your seat. You're just like, oh, let's go. Oh, shit. Oh, no. I want to cry, but like, come on, let's go. Every kind of emotion. And then tonight we have Winterfell. And it's just like, oh, my. It's like I got through it on Friday night. Just thinking, oh, I'm good. But then yesterday I was pretty busy doing some stuff. And then today I woke up and I was pumped. I'm like, yes, Game of Thrones. And then I'm like, oh, no, it's Winterfell. Not being, oh, no, it's Winterfell in a bad sense where I'm like, oh, this episode's going to suck. Being like, oh, no, this is going to be an hour and a half of having my heart ripped out from me. Because we know what Game of Thrones does to us. It rips your heart out. And I will cite the Red Wedding. That is, I feel like tonight is the new Red Wedding. I feel like something will happen tonight that completely rips our heart out, that we will say the Red Wedding and what happens tonight in the same sentence. And so it's like, oh, what do you think of Game of Thrones? It's like, well, when the Red Wedding and then this happened, I don't know what this is. I'm just predicting this. And thing is that take might never come true. But I'm just saying, I believe that the Red Wedding and something gigantic will happen tonight. That will be in the same sentence. Hallmark,
well, I want to
quite the rant there. So your take on all of that?
I want to listen to Tyrion because they're all like you said, there was all of them sitting there by the fire drinking wine and BS and.
Well, and Tyrion, he was drinking, but the thing is, when Tyrion drinks, he knows things.
Yeah, but they were all, they're all basically like ready to die.
Yep.
But then Tyrion was like, I think we're gonna live. And it's like, just and it wasn't his normal sarcastic tone. It was an actual upbeat, honest, thing that he said, and I'm like, I was like, well, knock on wood, that, he didn't just jinx himself.
Well, the thing is too, though, what was he doing during that entire episode? Basically, just getting drunk. And what is his famous line? I drink and I know things.
Yeah.
Take whatever stock you want into that, but no, I think that's good. But the thing is, though, I think Tyrion, I think will be a lot. I know Daenerys sent him to the crypts for this episode. I know the last shot we saw was him looking out over the wall.
Yeah,
but Daenerys basically said, "Hey, you need to go to the crypts or whatever." Tyrion is a battle planner. Jon Snow, I will say it, is not a battle planner. Jon Snow is a hell of a warrior, arguably one of the best warriors in the show. But when it comes to planning a battle, not necessarily the best. Tyrion, on the other hand, not necessarily the biggest warrior out there, figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
But when it comes to planning a battle, Tyrion got it. Think of Blackwater. How he planned Blackwater perfectly. He executed it perfectly. I believe he had some trick up his sleeve just like this for Winterfell. But also a hot take that I have is, not necessarily a hot take, but I do believe that we will see the Red Woman tonight. Melisandre will be here. And the thing is, she might not be there in her... She has that freaking gauntlet thing that she wears around her neck where she takes it off. She looks like the old woman. Maybe she has been an old woman in Winterfell the whole time. And the thing is, she has said she needs to die in a foreign land. And for her, the foreign land is Westeros. And I believe that the Lord of Light will have a massive role in this battle tonight, especially if the battle is won tonight against the Night King, which I don't believe that it will. I don't believe it will happen. We will get about 8:30. I'll tell you my predictions for the episode, but I do believe Melisandre will have an important role tonight.
Now they had before I say that, Tyrion,
yes,
has dodged death so many times.
I mean,
like he has gotten out of so many pickles, and he's like,
how much death
he's been there, he's been there from the beginning, like all 8 seasons, and he's just, he's got himself a rabbit's foot or a freaking 4-leaf clover or something. But so, that's part of the reason why I hope he didn't jinx himself by saying, we're all gonna survive this. But the Red Woman, okay, I can't remember what episode it was, but there was a different Red Woman.
and
no,
I know what you mean.
I don't remember ever seeing her again.
Nope. She disappeared after. She was like a one show appearance.
But because I was like, thinking that what's her name, had gone away, so they, whoever it was sent the other Red Woman to take her place. But then, you never saw the second one again. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them to, pop her in there for some reason, but I don't know. But they at the end of episode 2, they show all the White Walkers on horseback, lining up and looking over at Winterfell,
And who did we not see? The Night King.
The king, yeah.
So the biggest, that's a good segue here. So one of the biggest popular theories going around the internet is that the Night King is not at King's Landing, or he's not at Winterfell, but he's going to King's Landing. And I am of the I was early to think of, like, as soon as I saw that trailer, one of the first things that I thought of, I'm like, Night King might be pulling a Hezzy Hay. He might be dodging Winterfell. Why would he fall into the trap of Bran when he knows exactly where Bran is? And I do believe that he has the vision. He can see slightly into the future, just like Bran can. Bran cannot see like fully into the future, but he can do snippets. I believe that the Night King can do the same thing. So why would he expose himself to that danger of being killed? Why not just go to King's Landing, take your dragon down there? King's Landing will not be expecting it.
Yeah.
Raise an army of 1 million dead. and march on Winterfell from the south after they've already been ravaged by a massive battle that we're about to see here, and then take over. That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, the Night King, I believe that he will not be at Winterfell, or if he does show up to Winterfell, it'll be towards the end of the episode. He will let most of his army do the dirty work, and then he will show up to basically have fun and finish it off. But
well, it's
but the thing
that's
is,
like when they were.
Nope, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's like when they were in that, for lack of a better phrase, war room, and they were talking about what does everybody have in common, but the Night King, as far as the White Walkers go. As far as the White Walkers go, they're all, made by the Night King, and they're like,
and Bran couldn't confirm that the Night King could die by fire, by the dragon fire. See, he's like, so he can kill him by dragon fire. He's like, it's never been tried before. I'm like, okay, it's like great, thanks. But Bran. You've been a lot.
They basically, they were basically though they were like. If we figured this out, the Night King probably knows it too, and like he'll just stay in the shadows or whatever, and then because they were talking about having Bran in the crypt or whatever along with everybody else, and he's like, no, I need to be out in the open to as bait. And to try and draw out the the Night King. So,
well, and for those that are shipping that the Night King is Bran and Bran's the Night King, that theory is looking a little better right now with Bran wanting to be out in the open there, basically drawing the Night King in. But no, what I was going to say is why I believe that the Night King is going to go to King's Landing is I'm thinking back to Daenerys' visions at the House of the Undying in season 2. It was like episode 9 or 10. The House of the Undying, whenever her dragons first, she gives her first Dracarys, and her little tiny baby dragons burn that bald-headed guy alive or whatever. Whenever she was doing her vision, she was in King's Landing, and the Red Keep was destroyed. The Iron Throne was there. Snow was everywhere. And then later on, we got another, like a revised version of that vision. And a single dragon flew over King's Landing in that. At the time, we all probably thought that was Daenerys or, Daenerys, really, because we didn't really have R plus L's J. But what if that's the Night King? What if she had the vision? Yes, I will get to the throne, but the Night King is really the ruler. It's like you can rule the living, but you'll never rule the dead. And the dead is what holds all the power. Because the Night King has an army of, well, I'm going to say 100,000 right now marching on Winterfell. And Daenerys, it's like, good, you've done everything you can to get this Iron Throne. But is it worth it? Was it worth sacrificing all of humanity just to rule over a dead kingdom? I feel like that would be like one of the slickest justice moves and also one of the biggest fuck you moments in history if that happens. But yeah, so it is 8:22 right now. I'm keeping a sharp eye on that clock. I say, Hallmark, do you want to give us some episode predictions for the Battle of Winterfell? We'll go through and do a death pool here. Not deaths. Don't give us deaths. But what do you believe is going to happen?
Man, I don't even know if I want to speculate. Because, like I said, I don't I don't want to see any of the people that's left die. But I don't know. I mean, it might be like some of the side characters or whatever. Like
We're going to go
the
through them here shortly. Just overall, what do you think is going to happen? Like the North wins, Night King wins, things like that.
I think they I think I think the good guys will probably win the battle, but the war's not going to be won tonight. I don't think. It's I don't know. It's I think they'll win the battle. Keep the walkers at bay or whatever. But I don't think it's going to be. I don't think the fighting against the White Walkers is going to be over tonight. I think it's going to go on for a couple few episodes more.
No, I think I mean we got 3 more episodes after this one here, but I do believe that the Night King and the Army of the Dead will either just barely lose this battle, or they will win it, and that our heroes need to retreat big time.
Mm.
So that is my thing. I don't think that this episode will have a good ending. I believe
how many?
Honestly, when I think about it, I believe that we will be in despair at the end of this episode. And to be honest, they're going to leave us with a freaking cliffhanger that is just going to be ridiculous, where we are going to be.
Hey, how many episodes? How many episodes are supposed to be in this season?
There are 6. This is episode 3. This is the longest episode of the season.
Only 6.
Episode 4 is like 70 something minutes, and then episodes 5 and 6 are both 80 minutes each. So we're in the territory of hour plus episodes. So a lot can still happen. I do believe though that this is the sinister Game of Thrones fan in me saying I don't think this episode is going to have a happy ending. Even if the good guys win here, even if the Starks, the North wins, it ain't going to have a happy ending. Something bad will happen that screws them for at least the short term, or just rips our hearts out. And that's exactly what I'm thinking. So, all right. So, Hallmark, do you want to do a death pool here? We can go through and predict character deaths.
Okay.
All right. So here we go.
I thought there was going to be more than 6 episodes, though.
Nope. It is 6 episodes. So, it's 6 episodes, but the last 4, including tonight, are they're longer than your standard episode, which is good.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's go. I have a create your own death pool here for Game of Thrones. I'm not going to create it, but I'm just going to go through the characters that you can rank, and then I will add some in here as we go. So Jon Snow, dead or alive tonight? I'm going to say alive.
Yeah.
All right, so we got 2 alives for Jon Snow. Theon Greyjoy, dead.
I don't know. I mean, it's possible that he may sacrifice himself to keep Bran alive. So
that would be a good story for him. Good character.
I'll say he either lives or he dies. So
okay, we got to do dead or alive. We got one or the other, dead or alive. You got to pick dead or alive.
I'm going to say there's a very good chance he'll sacrifice himself for Bran.
All right, so we're both of us are leaning towards dead Theon. All right, Bran Stark.
I want to see her survive so her and Jaime can get together.
Or no, that's Bran, like Brandon Stark.
Oh, I thought you said Brienne.
Yeah, no, yeah. We'll be going to Brienne soon. Brandon.
Well, all right. Well, you know my pick there anyway.
Yep. I'm gonna say he lives.
Yeah,
Well,
because he's the new
so yeah.
three-eyed raven. So,
Yep. All right, Samwell Tarly. I'm
oh, I want to see. I want to see him live. I want to see him live.
I'm gonna say live.
Yeah.
All right, so here's something that's not on the list here, and I'm gonna say it is Gilly and Little Sam dead. I believe
Uh,
I believe Gilly and Little Sam will die tonight,
mm,
and that comes with the Crips.
uh, no, I'm gonna hold out. I'm gonna hold out hope for all three of them. Sam, Gillian. Yeah.
I wish I could have that optimism. I admire it.
Well, I
Right.
don't know. Something in me like is hoping that when Sam and Gilly, got together, that
Yeah,
you know that that she ended up pregnant somehow. So I don't
that
know.
would be awesome. So moving on here, we got here we'll do Brienne of Tarth. So you said Brienne will live.
I want her to live. Yeah.
I think she will die. I'm going to go death. And with that, we will go to Jaime Lannister. I think Jaime will live.
Mm,
I think it
yeah.
will be something that we do not expect. We would expect Brienne to live, but Jaime will live. And Jaime always said he wants to die in the arms of the woman he loves. I still believe that Jaime will kill Cersei in the end, and it will almost be a mutual killing where Jaime's wounded, but he gets the final kill on stab on Cersei. He dies in her arms as she dies. So I gotta say Jaime lives, Brienne dies, and Brienne will be heartbreaking to watch die. I think she will fight valiantly because she is Sir Brienne of Tarth because she got knighted, which was awesome. I love that scene, but I'm like, that's too good for a Game of Thrones character.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna say Brienne and Jamie both live. So at least through this episode.
I hope. That's what I hope for too. I mean, I picked one of them to die, but I hope. All right, so here we go. The Night King lives. I'm gonna say he lives.
I'm gonna say that the Night King is gonna be around until either the last episode or the next to the last episode.
I like that take. All right, Daenerys Targaryen. I think she lives.
Yeah.
Come on, my
Yeah.
cat, who's named Danny. She is right next.
Yeah.
She will hiss if you pick no. No, I'm just. I do think she will live this episode. She is my death pick, major death pick for the entire season, though.
Yeah.
Tyrion Lannister, I do believe that he will live as well. He is in the crypts, but I believe that he will get out of the crypts. So Tyrion, I say he lives tonight.
Well, like I said earlier, he's had a knack for getting out of the life or death situations. So
Exactly. All right, so Cersei Lannister. I know not something we might be thinking about here. I am going to go out on a limb and say dead, or at least wounded. And that goes with my prediction that the Night King is pushing King's Landing with Viserion.
yeah.
So I will say wounded, maybe not dead, but wounded or bested at least. So I will say alive, but defeated.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
That is
that's
pure. I mean, that's a take that could go. I mean, it could be proven wrong in the first 2 minutes of the episode.
yeah. I mean, you're
Taking a bet on like an underdog
right.
team where it's like this could go all right, but
Your theory, I mean that would probably be the only way that Cersei would die tonight. But I I'm gonna put her in the same category as the Night King. I think that she'll be around until either the last or next to the last.
All right, I like that. All right, so now we got two intriguing ones here. Well, actually, no, let's do a third here. Varys. I think Varys will be dead.
You're gonna have to remind me who that is.
The bald-headed guy. He is the bald-headed eunuch with Tyrion.
Oh, yeah.
I think he's dead.
That's okay. Well, I guess you just pronounce it different because yeah, Varys, or whatever.
Yep. Yeah. Varys. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Where is he at? I haven't seen him
He will be in the crypts. He will be in the crypts.
Like I don't think he's I don't think I've noticed him in these first two episodes.
In episode 1, he had a moment where he said nothing lasts forever. Talking to Jon and Dany.
Yeah.
But that's about it.
Yeah.
So I think he will die, and another guy that I will think will be dead will be Ed, who is the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch. I do believe that he will die, and it will be a heartbreaking death, just like Pip and Gren. During the battle at the Wall against the Wildlings. I believe that he will have a heartbreaking death. I hope he lives. I hope they all live, but I know it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, he's the one that showed up with the redheaded wildling and Sam and all that stuff.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Him at the last hearth.
Yeah.
Whenever Tormund came around the corner, he came around the corner. He's like, "Wait, this one has blue eyes," and Tormund's like, "I've always had blue eyes."
Yeah.
Tormund and Ed. Tormund, another one here. Let's go to Tormund. Tormund is another hot take. 50-50. Dead or not. I think Tormund will live.
Now he's the one with the flaming sword and the eye patch, right?
That is Beric Dondarrion. Tormund is the Redbeard wildling, the giant titty milk.
Yeah.
and Brienne.
Yeah.
Tormund is one that I think in my gut, I think he's going to die, but I'm not going to say he will because I love him and he's the funniest character on the show. He's the comedic relief. We need him to survive.
Yeah. But I think
Beric Dondarrion. Here we go. And also, I say, and you can give me your prediction on Tormund and Beric Dondarrion. I think Beric Dondarrion will die.
I think that Tormund may very well survive this episode. But I'm thinking that maybe would you say Ed?
Ed is the Night's Watch guy.
Yeah, the Night Watch captain. I think he might bite it, and I think that the dude with the eye patch and the flaming sword might bite it.
Yeah, that would be Beric Dondarrion with the flaming sword. I think Beric will bite the dust as well, but I think he'll do so in a heroic method. So the last two that we have here is Arya Stark and Sansa Stark. My hot take for the night is a Stark will die defending Winterfell. I believe Sansa will somehow die. And why I say that is it would be so ironic for the Lady of Winterfell to be Arya Stark, who did not want to be a lady, did not want to be the Lady of Winterfell, have any commanding role, but for her to be thrust into that role and for what she had said to Jon in the first episode, remember that you're family too. And she is doing everything for her sister as well. For her to have to put the Stark family beyond her faceless men kind of thing, I think that would be an incredible storyline. But I also think it would be heartbreaking to see Sansa, after everything she had learned, but I also think that her legacy could be passed on through both Jon Snow and Arya, as she learned from Cersei and they just observed how she ruled, especially Arya with Littlefinger, seeing how they ruled, how she ruled. I feel like if Sansa were to pass away tonight, that Arya would carry Sansa's legacy forward in a positive way, and Jon Snow would as well. So with that being said, I don't want to see either Arya or Sansa die, but I will, of my Stark prediction, it will be Sansa, and it will be in one of the most heartbreaking fashions in Game of Thrones history.
Now here's the thing though, that weapon that Arya had Gendry make for her
spear kind of thing.
Yeah, that is either
I think that's gonna be very important.
That's she either is planning on using that to kill the dragon that the Night King turned. She's either planning to use it to kill that dragon or the Night King himself.
I that's what I hope. I mean, I that's what I hope.
So
the thing is, Game of Thrones taught me: don't hope for good things, just hope for not the bad things to happen.
I mean, that's got to me that is what that weapon has to be for, to kill either the dragon or the Night King.
Yeah, you know? I mean, that's what I hope. That's what I hope. And I mean, we are 20 minutes out, folks. It's 8:40 or 8:39, 8:40 Eastern Standard Time here. We have 20 minutes to the Battle of Winterfell.
But I don't know if I want to speculate on either one of those ladies dying tonight. But another person though that you didn't mention, the Hound.
That is true. Yes.
Will the Hound live or die tonight?
There's actually two more people I just didn't think of because there's so many freaking characters there at Winterfell right now. I think the Hound will live. I think the Hound will live.
Yeah. That's the thing too, like, because everybody thought he already died once, but he survived that. So I don't know, just his outlook on life, not really giving a shit.
I think that's what helps him out.
Like he doesn't, like he doesn't really care if he dies, I don't think. So, but at the same time, what I think will promote his living or whatever is the fact that I do believe that the Hound is meant to face off with the Mountain before this show is over with.
I think so too. I mean, Clegane Bowl. If there's fan service that needs to be done, just give me Clegane Bowl. Give me the Mountain versus the Hound. All I want. And I want to see the Mountain defeated with fire, just like he burned the Hound's face. I want to see the Hound beat him with fire. Oh, and but no, two more characters we didn't bring up: Melisandre and Grey Worm. Grey Worm, I think, is a for sure goner, and I think Melisandre is also a goner.
Yeah, and I mean, Grey Worm is
awesome. He's a badass.
He's almost like.
He's the commander of the Sully.
He's almost like the Hound, like he's ready to die. Well, he's not. He's not afraid of dying.
Not at all.
And but yeah, I could just envision Grey Worm getting taken down, and then her, either seeing it or hearing about it, and then just like going nuts and possibly surviving, but possibly getting killed in her moment of grief.
Yeah. And just so you know, I am rewatching episode 2 on live Game of Thrones, live HBO. We are at the knighting scene for Brienne. I believe that Brienne being knighted by Jaime is one of the best moments of the recent. I think it's one of the best, happiest moments that you can be genuinely happy. This show does not give you happy moments. That is one of them. And the fact that Brienne, by far, has been the most knightly of any of the characters in Game of Thrones. The fact that she gets that tonight, right before the Battle of Winterfell, is awesome. And it's by Jaime, who she hated and he hated her. And then they came around to respect and even potentially have feelings for each other. Is just incredible. And the fact that they both wield Oathbreaker and what's the other freaking name of the sword? I can't remember. But they are both wielding swords. The two swords, Oathkeeper and I can't remember what the other one is. The two swords that they're wielding were out of ice, which was Ned Stark's sword. And they will be using them to defend Winterfell tonight. That is freaking poetic justice and perfect writing. I mean, that is incredible. Oh, so Hallmark, about ready to close this out here because we that would get 15 minutes here for everybody to get a bathroom break, watch the last parts of episode 2, and get some popcorn ready to go. Hallmark, you got any final thoughts to close out here?
No, just other than I don't know. I don't want to see any more good guys get killed. So I'm just gonna hope that all the good ones survive, and because I mean, the stupid hopeless romantic part of me is like Jaime and Brienne need to survive so they can get together.
Yep.
Arya and Gedry need to survive so they can get
Yep, they can
continue on.
Unite Baratheon. Stark.
Tyrion and Sansa need to survive so they can get back together. I think that would be cool. And yeah, I don't know. Just all these people that need to survive in order to for all these houses to continue.
I know, and that's exactly how I feel. That I don't want to see anybody die, but I believe tonight we will see a lot of our favorite friends and characters. They won't make it. But we've all been on this journey together, and we will continue to do it for the next 4 episodes. Episode 3 airs in less than 15 minutes. The Battle of Winterfell tonight, folks. If you aren't able to watch it right away at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I would say stay away from Twitter and social media. If you have HBO, you should be able to watch it live here shortly. I am currently watching. I just switched it over. I'm on Prime. Just switched it over to the HBO Live. You should be able to switch to that, and that will carry it for you. Everybody, I wish you the best fortune in the wars to come. Valar, and thank you. Before we close out here, thank you to Hallmark Channel Jeremy for joining myself. And we will give you more Game of Thrones reaction. I'll probably, maybe tomorrow night, might do another live stream just because I feel like this episode will be traumatic and we need to talk about it even more. So with that being said, let our watch begin. Valar Morghulis.